Hello everyone, Financial Fancy here, you're watching FANTAVISION, and today I'm discussing a topic that I know is going to put the comment section in a firestorm debate, because whenever I bring this up, there are always those group of people that come out of the woodwork and defend massive multi-million to billion-dollar corporations for some reason. People that will go out of their way to fight against their own best interests. Now, why they do this, I don't know. But I'm here to talk today about how games are worth less than they ever have been before. Because this was really spurred by some really terrible takes online about the whole $70 video game thing, and especially after the Capcom boss came out and went, games have been way too cheap for way too long, and we've been sticking at this $60 price for way too long. They need to be $70, and if not, they need to be $100. They need to be incredibly expensive because it's expensive to make games, and we need to raise the wages of developers, even though executives, you could lower your wages, right? You don't need millions of dollars, do you? But that being said, profits for video games have just constantly flown through the roof. And why has that happened? Let's take a look back for a second. Let's step back from the situation. Go, why are profits so high when prices supposedly haven't gone up in forever? You know, it's been $60 for games since what? PS3 360? I think on the original Xbox and PS2 days it was $50. Before that, people will argue it was all over the map. It's like they were trying to figure out what the pricing could be. But when they solidified that pricing of $50 to $60, it's been that way for a long time. Now, you could say inflation needs that price to go up, but it hasn't. So how have the profits gone up? Well, that's because the price of a video game for a complete video game are not $60. If you want to go out and get a complete video game from some of these companies out here, from a lot of these companies out here, it is a lot more than $60. In fact, in many, many cases, you cannot fully complete your game with every single item or weapon skin or whatever. It's an astronomical amount of money. It's like thousands and thousands of dollars to actually get every single piece of content for that game. And that is why I'll always argue against the fact that it needed to be $70 in the first place. Hell, I would argue that most games shouldn't even be $60. And saying that video games have been at $60 for a long time is disingenuous, to say the least. Let's just take a look at what does the full game of Far Cry 6 cost. Now, I don't even know if this includes all of the DLC, all the skins, all the extra weapons. What do you think Far Cry 6 costs if you're to buy the full thing? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Now, 100 is ridiculous. It's not $100 for a video game. 110, 120, 130, $130. And that gets you, what does that get you? That gets the game, 3 DLC episodes, and more, plus the Ultimate Pack, whatever the hell that means. Now, before you just throw me in the fire in the comment section, say I'm a hypocrite for buying this game, I did not pay $130 because I don't think this game is worth that much. I spent $20 on this. So that's reasonable. That's not bad. If you want to charge $20 for a full game, that's fine. Now, that right there, I feel like, should just completely dissolve the argument that video games are only $60 and have been and need to be $70. But let's look at a game that is $70 or was at launch, not anymore. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. $70 at launch. So you think the argument would stand, this was $70, this is the full game? No, of course it isn't, because this is an Activision game. This is a modern Call of Duty game. I can't say Call of Duty game because, yeah, back in the day they had DLC map packs, but whatever, like a couple map packs. They weren't that expensive. I think it was like $15 a pack, which is, it's not cheap for maps, but you're gonna be playing them over and over and over. This is $70. And you still have an infinite amount of other things you can spend money on. You can get weapon variants that you can only buy. So you would argue maybe that's pay to win. And also you unlock them faster. It's like you can just buy all the attachments you want for the gun instead of earning them through the game. That again dissolves the argument, oh, $70 for the complete game. No, it's not. It is thousands of dollars to complete that game right there, because all the different weapon variants, all the different skins, all the different characters, all the different things in that game that you can buy extra, make that game, the full game, not $70. However, there are outliers, and people will always bring these up. But the thing is they are outliers. When it comes to the AAA game industry, Call of Duty, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, all the EA games, all of those games, they always have some sort of microtransaction or some sort of monetization on top of the original price paid to play the game. Now, if you want to sell me a game for $70 that has every single piece of content in it and there's nothing else at all, or, and we'll get to that, a meaningful addition to the game like an expansion pack, then talk to me. But if Elden Ring is an outlier and not the rule, I feel like that argument absolutely dissolves and the Capcom boss has absolutely nothing to talk about. Especially when he's selling games like Street Fighter where you can buy extra characters and Resident Evil games. If Capcom was only making games like Elden Ring or, going to that other point, The Witcher 3, which has DLC. However, it does it correctly because it's not just DLC. It's not just a weapon or a weapon skin. It is an expansion pack. It is a ton of content. No one's going to argue that the DLC for Witcher 3 isn't worth it. Plus, I will still give credit where credit is due with CD Projekt Red. They always have the crazy amount of pack-ins that you just don't see in anything else. This has a soundtrack in it. I've brought this game up so many times because this is like how it used to be when you bought a video game. You would open it on the car ride home and you'd be so excited that you'd read through the manual. Remember manuals? Those are cool. And this went above and beyond with stickers, a soundtrack, a world map, and a universe compendium. Just so many different things that you can be excited about. Now, if every game was like this and had all of these pack-ins in it, sure, yeah, charge $70, charge up to $100 for that much gameplay, that much content, that much love and care put into the game, and not only the game, but the game packaging as well. And another reason why, in my opinion, this argument completely falls apart is because digital games and physical games are the same exact price. If they can complain about pricing not making sense, so can we, the customer, all the people out there that will defend digital till they die for no reason, again, because digital is not going anywhere. That's where they want it to go. You don't have to worry about your format disappearing. That's why people like me are fighting for physical, because we have to fight for its existence. I've had so many comments where people are like, oh, well, digital's better. Why do you care? This isn't about you, okay? This is not about digital versus physical. It's please keep physical existing. It's not one or the other for people that like physical. It's please keep this as an option because digital will always be an option. That's the cheaper way to go for them. And let's talk like them. Digital games should be cheaper because there isn't all of this packaging. There isn't shipping. There isn't a disc. You're not loading the game onto discs anymore. You don't have to print manuals. You don't have to do all these different things. And yet, there is no price difference between digital and physical, even though it costs them less to produce. So if we're talking about price to produce equals price on the shelf, then using their logic, digital games should always be cheaper, and they should go on sale more often than physical games and stay lower pricing than physical video games. But like I've shown in past videos, that doesn't exist either. Lots of digital games will sit at their most MSRP of $60 to $70 for the entire time they exist, whereas the physical editions in stores will keep dropping over time until they hit that like $20 threshold, and they'll stay there and they'll go in the bargain bin. And then you can buy it for $20 all day on Amazon, Best Buy, Target, wherever the hell you want to. Whereas the digital storefronts that are controlled by Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, they're gonna stay at peak pricing. I mean, look at Call of Duty on Steam. How long has it been $50 to $60? It just sits there, even though their physical counterparts are so much cheaper. So when we start talking about game pricing, and we talk about how games are just not enough money, they're not enough money. It doesn't make sense to me at all, because it feels like video games have only gotten more expensive and also providing less content. There's so many bare bones games out there, or games that are designed to be frustrating to get money out of you. Like, remember Assassin's Creed? Like when they started doing the RPG Assassin's Creed games, the leveling systems were so, they would just drag because they wanted to wear you down to the point where you would buy experience boosters. You would buy single player boosters in your single player game to make it so you would level faster and the game would stop being such a grind. The thing about game developers designing their games around microtransactions means that the game is not $60 or $70. It means it is whatever the base price is, plus all of the extra stuff that is conveniences that actually make the game fun. Because if the game isn't fun or isn't full enough of content that you feel like you need more, then that base price really isn't the real price anymore, now is it? So I already know, I can hear all the people in the comments section, they're gonna defend corporations. I get it. There's gonna be those people that are come out of the woodwork. Your favorite game developer, I just bashed them. How dare you bash Ubisoft? What a generous brand they are. It's gonna be funny, but I feel like it's something that more people need to talk about, because we've been paying more or paying the same and getting less content. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys listening to what I have to say. I want to hear what you have to say. Please do like the video if you guys liked it. Subscribe for more content, and check me out over on FANTAVISION on Twitch, where I play a bunch of stuff. Have a fantastic day. See you, everybody.